My IQ has 2 digits. I am a freelance copywriter, and I have not made less than $15,000 a month since April of 2021. So from absolute zero, making nothing, college dropout, loser, it took me about 10 and a half months of kind of trying a little bit hard to hit that number. And then I've never looked back ever again. Over the last almost 4 years of making that kind of money from freelance copywriting, I have extreme clarity on how to make this a viable and reliable source of income for pretty much anybody. In 2024 alone, I helped 500 people sign their first client, 100 people hit 6 figures, and 6 special individuals to go beyond 40K a month with freelance copywriting. My goal for this year is to get 100 people to $15,000 a month from freelancing alone, which I believe is an extremely realistic income target for anybody who wants to take copywriting even semi-seriously. In this video, I want to share 6 secrets with you that I know for a fact will help you hit $15,000 a month of freelance copywriting. These are all the things that I wish I knew when I started, so I could hit this number in like 6 months instead of 11 months. I'm embarrassed at how long it took me, considering what I know now. If you want more content about how I'm gonna get you to $15,000 a month, like, subscribe, so I know you like it. And if you want a little bit more in-depth stuff, I have a private free class I do bi-weekly. It's not recorded or posted anywhere, so if you miss it, it's kind of gone. You gotta wait again. But these classes contain some real high-level stuff that you are gonna wanna see if your goal for the year is to make $15,000 a month in income with freelance copywriting, or even in total, I don't really care. That link for that is in the description. All right, let's jump in, let's get it. Did you subscribe yet? Do it. Secret number 1, this does not have to be a full-time thing for you. I love working with people who have full-time jobs, or they're in school, or maybe they're a parent. Most people who are high performers usually have something going on in their life that is outside of just this copywriting thing. I got lucky. When I started, I had all the free time in the world because it was COVID. There was no school. There was no work. I had nothing else to do but sit down and do this thing. But the reason I love copywriting so much is because it's designed for you to do it even if you have other obligations. Let me tell you about my general rule of thumb. For you to make $15,000 a month with copywriting, the ratio, the way the hours work out is every $1,000 a month you make, it's about an hour a week, plus or minus 30 minutes. Also plus or minus how fast you are. So even if you're awful at math like I am, you would know that $15,000 a month will take you about 15 hours a week to fulfill that work. Why is that? Because writing copy is not that difficult and you can get really fast if you want. I'm gonna talk about that later. Let's say you're writing emails for a client and they pay you $3,000 a month and they want 3 emails a week. How long do you think it takes to write an email? For me, it takes about 20 minutes. So I'm working about an hour or 2 a week, depending on the week, and I'm gonna get $3,000 a month for my troubles. Most people work full time for $3,000 a month. If you're really lazy and you have no expenses and you live at home, or you have nothing to pay for, or you're retired, you could literally work 3 hours a week, 2 hours a week, make $3 grand a month and be good. Those clients are very common. I have a couple right now. So if you're asking, is it possible to get to $15,000 a month without quitting your job? It might be a lot. You might be feeling like you're working quite a bit, but is it possible? 100%. That's what I love about this earth. Sometimes you just meet people that are built like that. I have this one friend who works 60 hours a week. He's a dog. He works 60 hours a week. He literally only sleeps like 4 hours a night. He wakes up peppy, he's ready to go. And he's doing stuff from like 6 a.m. to like midnight. And he has a couple hours to sort of settle down or like see a shorty or something like that. And then 4 hours of sleep, he's ready to go again. Some of these people are my students. Like I have a student right now, his name's Owen. He has a full-time sales job. He's a manager. He actually works. I think he already makes 6 figures. He must be in the low to mid 6 figures. And in his first month with copywriting, he was able to make $11,000 just from copywriting. So no, you don't need to put 70 hours a week into copywriting for it to make sense for you. As long as you don't waste any time and you just jump right into it and you do what the playbook says, then you will be fine. Secret number 2, learn to write faster. While I tell you about this little secret, let me tell you a story. My second freelance client was an agency. I was working at this agency called Structured. They're phenomenal. They still do good work to this day. That's where I met Chase Diamond. Chase Diamond, shout out if you're watching this. My job at that agency was to write 8 emails a day, basically every day of the week. And it was e-commerce emails. So I was writing emails for brands that were really, really cool and I liked them a lot. But it took me forever. They were paying me about $4,500 a month as their like retainer to me as a contractor. For me to write 1 email, it would take me an hour. How long do you think it would take me to write 8 emails, right? I was thinking, if I wanna make more money freelancing, I have to like have more time available to actually do this. Because at that point, I was working like basically all day for this agency, and then I would have these random little things pop up for Everyman Jack that I was also working with at the beginning. And so I was making all right money. I was making like 5, 6, sometimes more per month, but I was working all day. It was so annoying. How do I work 3 hours a day? I discovered a formula for writing emails really fast, that made it so that I could write an email in, I swear to God, sometimes 90 seconds. The average one would take like 5-6 minutes though if I wanted to put some more thought into it or if it was a brand I didn't know as well. But instead of taking an hour to write an email, I could write it in 6 minutes. As you get a little bit more experience, you are going to find ways for you to just get faster at what you're doing. And it's gonna become sort of like second nature. Like even for non-e-commerce emails, those should take a long time because they're story-based, it's free text, so you're just like writing. There's no boundaries of what you can say. Like there's no like, the graph I gave you or the little table thing, like that's like, it tells you exactly what to put and where, and it makes it really easy and quick. But like the formula that I use for like more info product emails are like usually story, moral, or like I thought of this principle, here's what it means for you, call to action. And you can set this stuff up super quick. So like when I say it takes me 20 minutes to write an email that I get paid, you know, I guess technically thousands of dollars for, very, very simple stuff. The faster you get at writing, I actually would also take typing tests and I would try and like get faster at typing. And I got to the point where I started, I was like 70 words a minute. When I was at my peak and I was writing all day long, I was up to 110 words a minute that I was able to type. Especially if I was on some PEDs, you know what I mean? I was writing really fast. My OGs will know Vyvanse Mace. You guys know what that's about. So if you can write faster, that is probably one of the highest ROI things that you can do to make more money because you free yourself all this time. All you gotta do is identify frameworks that work for you so you can basically just fill in the blanks. You ever played Mad Libs in the back of the car on a road trip when your parents are driving? Where you're just like filling in noun, verb, whatever. That's what it feels like for me to write copy now because I've just been doing it so long, I just know in my head what it's gonna be like. All I gotta do is put it in the paper. Secret number 3, your outreach is kind of basic. On YouTube, I give away a lot of stuff for free. And I tell people what to do, and they think that, you know, what Mason says to do is all they have to do. And unfortunately, there's a lot more that you can do. And people are lazy. And so I say like, all right, just send 50 DMs a day. And they're like, cool, I'm gonna do that. And then they use some basic script and they just do that every day. And it's like, you know, they're kind of getting results. And they're making money, but it's nothing special. And maybe it takes a little bit longer than it normally takes other people. It's because you're not thinking outside of the box. You're not being creative. Have you ever seen a drug addict when they're out of drugs? Like you'll find a guy who loves crack, right? And he all of a sudden he checks his pockets, he's like, oh shit, no more crack. Have you seen him go through his own house looking for crack? Like he will literally go in the fridge, open the pickle jar, check and see if there's some crack in there, because maybe there is. You can literally Google right now, Florida man rips up carpets to try and find crack under the carpets. There's probably, I made that up, there's probably an article about it. You need to essentially be like a copy head, a client head. You need to be so ferociously addicted to making money and wanting to make more money that you are like tearing up carpets trying to find clients. The people who sign a lot of clients really fast aren't just sending DMs to people. They are joining communities and connecting with other entrepreneurs for like Discords and stuff like that, and like going through and talking to people in Discord and like, you know, saying, oh, hey, what are you working on? Oh, I got an e-com brand. Oh, cool, how's that going? Oh, good, yeah, we're doing this. You're doing email? Oh, no, we haven't really found anyone. Dude, I do email, like hire me, I'll do it. Like, let's talk, I can make you money. You know what I mean? Like people like that, people that just had that fire about it. Or like you're scrolling on Twitter even, and it's like someone talking about a business that he runs, and it's like he doesn't have a course or anything like that, and you can't directly pitch him, but it's like, oh, what do? You have a business? That's kind of cool. What are you in? Real estate? Oh, cool, I do copywriting. I mean, I don't really know how I can help you, but I'm happy to connect. Oh yeah, I would love to connect. I mean, what do you need? Like, is there anything that like you could use marketing for? Oh yeah, maybe this. You make friends like that, sign clients like that, it's crazy. And even, you know, just like focusing on building on top of the stuff that you're already doing. Like a lot of people aren't sending Loom video pitches. Loom is a software that records your screen. And basically a pitch with a Loom video is like you go through somebody's funnel or like their website or their ads or the emails or whatever, and you look at kind of what they're doing, and then you literally will, with them, point out on your screen, like, this is what you need to do, this is what you should change this, and then introduce yourself in the video. Like you can turn the camera on you and be like, hey, like, this is what I do for a living, I'm sure I can help you. Like, you know, it could be like a 90-second Loom video that you go through, and it takes you 90 seconds to make, it takes them 90 seconds to watch, and all you have to do is just like film yourself recording their screen. And like you could have way better odds of signing people because they know that you care. That's the thing, I get pitched like literally a dozen times a day. People all over the, you know what I mean? Copywriters, videographers, editors, sales guys, usually sales guys, honestly. And like nobody ever goes above and beyond. No one ever sends voice notes. No one ever sends videos. No one ever follows up when I ignore them, because I always ignore. You're doing the bare minimum for outreach, and this is why you're not at $15,000 a month yet. My copywriters who are making 15 grand a month are the ones that are really, really killing it with outreach. They're doing everything. They're pitching everybody. Like they're in the streets wheeling and dealing. I have a guy, I actually should find the screenshot and throw it up in the screen, but he like got like 2 or 3 clients like just pitching locally. Like he would go door to door to businesses and like got his clients in person. That guy's built for it. That guy's built diff. He's gonna make 15K a month in no time. So that's secret number 3. Secret number 4 is it gets way less crowded at the top. A lot of people think that copywriting is saturated because they see all the people either in my comments or in my free classes or, talking about it online, anywhere else, all talking about copywriting.
Oh, copywriting, well, I'm doing this. So I got I got my first client, I'm doing this,
And you think that it's super saturated because you see all these people talking about copywriting. There's a lot of people talking about it. Most people aren't actually doing the work. Most people aren't actually, doing what I said in secret number 3. Most people aren't coming to the free class or, working with me directly or any of my team. Most people don't even really make that much money from copywriting because all they're doing is talking. They might make 2 or 3K a month because they're barely doing anything, and they're still making money, but it's just nothing impressive. You think there's so much going on. You think there's no room for you. The reality is, it is so easy to be above these people because they're all existing on here, let me show you, on this plane here. You're gonna be here if you do the work for 6 months. So you think that the whales, the whale clients that I talk about all the time are hard to find because they're way up in the top. There's not that many of them, so it's gonna be hard to find those clients. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's far less people who can pay you 5K a month than can pay you $500 a month. But those are reserved for people like us. The better you get at copywriting and freelancing sort of as a business model, the more access you're gonna have to the best of the clients, and there's nobody else around. You start competing with way less people. Of course you start competing with more talented people, but there's more for you because there's just less people there. A lot of people will also say Mace, why do you talk so much about copywriting if you're just basically building students to compete with you? And it's I'm not competing with you. The people I'm working with wouldn't hire anybody else but me. It was never a toss-up. It was always gonna be me. And that will be you one day if you kind of stick with it. So it's far less crowded at the top. I wouldn't say it's lonely at the top because, to be honest, the people that you are around are very high quality people. But once you get there, you're gonna realize where is everyone? There are all these people competing for these $500 a month copywriting clients. Nobody's competing for the 5 to 10K a month copywriting client. And so the people making $15,000 a month, they're having a great time kind of just doing their own thing, and they get new clients all the time because they're on a different level. And again, it's just an effort thing and a skill thing. You will get better, you will get there. This is why I highly recommend that you don't stop at 6 to 8K a month like most people do. Most people get to 6 to 8K a month, they chill there and they're yeah, I'm making money. Why would I do more? Why would I want to put more effort in? Because it literally gets easier. It took me 8 months for me to get from 0 to 10K a month. It took me 6 months to get from 10 to 20. And it took me 4 or 5 months to get from 20 to 48,000 a month. There you go. Okay, that should be all the proof you need. Secret number 5, we're getting more and more philosophical. I hope you're okay with that. Secret number 5 is to build backward. In other words, you want to build with the dream outcome in mind. So what's better? Would you rather have 3 clients at $5,000 a month or 15 clients at $1,000 a month? Obviously, you'd rather have 3 clients paying you 5K because you're gonna be working way less stress, less to manage. So what I would say is once you're at $5,000, $6,000 a month and you're out of poverty basically, where you can kind of afford to do some things, you can live on your own, you're starting to make some money, you're starting to feel good about it, it's a real source of income, 5K a month, 60K a year, that's good. But once you're there, I highly recommend that you start to be very picky with who you work with. And again, this is a privilege thing that I'm saying because I didn't do this. Here's the thing. I took every single deal that came across the table to me. Every single time someone was willing to pay me $1,500 a month, $2,500 a month to do some stuff for them. Even when I was at 30K a month as a freelancer, I was taking that stuff. I was give me that shit. I was always trying to make more money. I thought it was bad juju. Turn down money, turn down clients like that, so I never did. But the first run that I had with copywriting, I got capped at $48,000. I got so tired. I had 16 clients at my peak. I was working my ass off for these people. So much work to make really good money. I was making 50 grand a month at 22. That's amazing. But I was running myself through the ringer every single day. I don't like talking about this because it sounds like I'm encouraging drug use, but I'm not. I would wake up at 6 a.m., sometimes a little earlier. I would pop one of my buddy's Vyvanse pills, it's a legal substance, you can take it. I would, go to Tim Hortons, I would get 4 extra large coffees. One would be a regular one, 3 of them would be decaf, and I would pound these all day. I would start working around 7 and I would work until 6. And the only way I could get that work done was by using literal drugs. And it was great because I look back on that, I'm that was really nice, but I also didn't have a social life. I wasn't really doing much. It was really tough because I had all these tiny little clients that were some were paying me well and some were paying me not that much. And I was just so tired. I burned out. I basically fired all my clients, and then so November I made a bunch of money. That was when I was around that $48,000 a month phase. And then December I fired everybody. I let go of everyone. I made $15,000. I had a huge income drop, but I was cool with it. And those were my biggest clients. So I had 3 clients that were paying me that, and I made that $15,000, and I was like way happier. And there was a period of time where like, it was right before I was about to go start my agency, which was another bad idea that we'll talk about in another video. But I was like, should I just chill here? Like $15,000 a month is such a dream. Like I'm chilling, like I'm making great money. It's 180K a year. I got 3 clients. I'm working like a couple hours a day. Like why would I want to do more? I ultimately decided that the right answer was to just make way more money, and then I did, and then 8 months later I made 100K with my agency, and then like 100K a month, by the way. And so it was good, it worked out. I'm glad that I made more money, but again, you got to build backward. I digress. Build backwards, that's what I was saying. So once you get to a number where you're kind of comfortable, and it could be even 10K a month, maybe you're piecing your way up to that where it's like you have 5 clients paying you 2K a month, super comfortable still good. You're not gonna be stressing. 5 clients, you're totally fine. And 10K a month does feel amazing, but it's not as good as 15K a month, I'm telling you that. 10K a month's the old number, bro. No one cares about that anymore. Cardinal Mace is trying to get you to 15. Let's get to 15. So whatever that number is where it's like, okay, whew, I can breathe. 5, 6K a month. Then you have to be super particular about trying to find 5K deals, okay? So like I've talked about before in my other videos, it's either finding good retainers that are gonna pay you 4 or 5K a month, or find a smaller retainer, like 2.5, where you can get rev share percentage. So the money that you actually make for the client, you're getting paid basically a commission on that, like 5 to 20%. How do you find those clients? You got to just, shoot larger shots. You got to look for people who are, doing bigger numbers. You got to just, don't get on a call with every old fart that's going to like try and give you money. You're the prize now because you have a goal. You have your sights set on this number. You're not going to accept anything less than like 4K a month. You got to be super particular on that because it will screw you like it screwed me. All right. So think of the big number. Think about how you're going to get there exactly, and then just stick to the plan, my boy or girl. All right. Last but not least, secret number 6. So this is something I actually got from a mentor, and I'm gonna give it to you now. And the secret is the smaller you perceive the number to be, the more likely you are to reach it. So the reason people are really good at getting to like 2 to 3K a month with copywriting and not so good at getting like 15, 20K a month is because they think that 2 to 3K a month is nothing, which it is. Like it is nothing. And I've thought about this a lot. And I think that if more people just thought that 15, 20K a month wasn't that much money, they would get there so much faster. The mentor that I told you about before, his number that he was trying to get to was like $1 million a month. And his whole thing was he had to find ways for him to make $1 million a month look really small. So he would go on Zillow and look at cribs that cost like over $100 million. So like New York, LA, Miami. And then you have to think about like, could I afford that at $1 million a month? No. It costs a lot of money to buy a house worth 100 mil. He would look at people online that were making, millions and millions of dollars a month. He would, look at old autobiographies of people that were making billions. You have to basically immerse yourself in a culture of wealth. And like for you to look at cribs that cost, like $10 million, you can't afford that on 15K a month. You're gonna think like, oh, like now I think I need like 100K or 200K a month, which like, God willing, one day you'll get there. But the reason you think 15K a month is a lot is because let's say you've been working for 5 years or more outside of university, and you're making 6 to 7K a month, which is pretty good, and like maybe your boss's boss is making 15K a month, but that number is smaller than you think, and you will only get there if you like really believe when I say that. So try not to sound like a dick here, but between my rent in one of my apartments, one of my rents in one of my cars, to be fair, the biggest of both of them, that's 15 grand a month right there. I pay 8.5K a month for my apartment in Miami, and I pay $7,500 a month for the Ferrari. So that's actually 200K a year right there. I see 15K a month as small. Therefore, if I were to start any business, I would be able to get to 10, 15, 20 plus a month really fast because I don't see it as intimidating. I'm not afraid of it. But if you're afraid of it, you gotta fix your mindset right now. You gotta be around people that make more money than that. You gotta be around places where it costs more money to even pay rent than that. Really look at yourself in the mirror and like understand that 15K a month is so achievable, and it will give you an amazing life. Like you will have most of what you need completely covered, and you have a lot of your wants too. Like you can get a nice car. You can get a little bit nicer of an apartment. You can start to go on a couple trips a year. So 15K a month is 1000% the sweet spot for freelancers and otherwise. But you're not gonna get there if you pedestalize it. You will never have anything that you pedestalize. So the number one thing you gotta do is take that out of your mind. It's not that big. You can do it. It's not even gonna be that hard. Like that's another thing. Like if you're really about it, you'll get there in 6 months. Those are my 6 secrets. Let me recap them for you. This does not have to be a full-time thing. You can do this semi-part-time and you will be very successful. 2, learn to write faster using formulas in your brain. 3, your outreach is kind of basic. You got to go above and beyond to stand out from these brokies. Number 4, it gets less crowded at the top. The brokies stay down there. You're going to rise above that at 15K a month. Your job is going to get a whole lot easier. 5, build backward. Don't do what I did. And 6, smaller you perceive the number to be, the more likely you are to reach it. Closing this thing again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. The top link in my description is the free class, the private bi-weekly free class you can come to. I will teach you copywriting more in depth than I can in this video. And the second link is gonna be to work directly one-on-one with me and my team if you wanna just skip the whole spiel and just come right to us and work with us. We'd love to have you, okay? Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.